What's up, guys? It's Parnellyx once again with another Warwick mid gameplay example. This is me playing against Akshan, which is actually a matchup that I've struggled for a while now. And I've recently started actually this new strat. This is a brand new strat, by the way. So, I mean, for the last like 2 years I've been playing Warwick mid. I've been doing the same sums, same summoner spells every game, basically. And just same strategy in general, same play style. But this week I figured, well, Warwick, one of Warwick's biggest counters in the mid lane and top lane, but especially in mid lane, is ranged ADCs. Ranged ADCs are really tough because you can't really sustain through their poke like you can mages and stuff. But so it really just comes down to you just basically lose lane. You just have to like fight for CS best you can. You don't really have much kill pressure because of the fact that your damage is kind of low, and you don't have a consistent way to close the gap on the enemy. So generally speaking, the matchup sucks, especially Akshan. His early game damage is pretty brutal, and the champion has a lot of priority. So what I decided to start doing is switching up my runes and my sums. So you see we're taking Ignite. We're taking Press the Attack, and instead of going Demolish, we're going Second Winds, just to be able to sustain the poke a little bit. And basically we're playing this as a kill lane. We are, I mean, this early game, that's not going to happen every game for you right there, but we will take it. Patience by me. I made sure to not use my Q during the exhaust. I saved afterwards. Because exhaust not only reduces damage, it also reduces your healing, so it can definitely have some pretty big implications. But my plan here was going to be just to let him shove in the early game. I was going to be willing to give up some CS in the early game because I was going to gain an advantage back by killing him later. Luckily, we got the kill early on, so we're kind of just chilling this game. And we get a greedy recall off. And we're going to be rushing towards tabbies because, or plated steel caps, I'm sorry. We're going to be rushing towards plated steel caps because plated steel caps, they allow you to, I mean, you see, with our setup, we're not going to be lacking in damage. What we really need is to be able to close the gap on him and a knock at one shot. And plated steel caps do the job here. So that is the plan. We're doing boots rush, so that we can actually just walk up and fight him on repeat, if we can. But yeah, like I said, this brand new setup. I'm not really used to using Ignite, so I don't think this game there was many mistakes. I think this is like a couple games into trying out the strategy, but at the start I was struggling. I was forgetting I didn't have barrier and dying when I, thinking I had barrier and stuff like that. So it takes some getting used to. But yeah, basically the entire idea of the strategy is just to kind of just play like an assassin. I really drew inspiration from this from playing like Kiana, because I've been playing a lot of Kiana, as I mentioned in my previous video, like a lot last season, and she has matchups like this where just to kind of just sack a bunch of CS, and she's just got to play for the kill. So I figured, why can't Warwick do that against these bad matchups? At least it doesn't hurt to try. And I think if you have this rune set up, you're going to be able to do it. Because if you're going grass is about poke. And the thing about running grass versus someone like Akshan is you can't really poke him. Because, like I said, you can't really sustain through his poke. So you're not going to be able to like walk up to him without dying, basically. And even if you do get like one Q off, it's not going to count to much. You can't spam Q on him. So you have to play for the all-ins. So that's the entire idea here. So right here, I tried to go for a trade on the Akshan. Barely missed out on him because of some slight minion block, but it's fine. We're just going to play safe from the turret here. We're going to just play safe. We're going to let the wave shoving, so it's going to come here eventually. It doesn't matter if you miss 1 or 2 CS. I do want the cannon, but you also can't over-greed for the cannon. I greed for the cannon every time. But that's a problem. So don't do what I do. At the end of the day, like, a cannon minion's not going to win or lose you the lane. A death might, though. A death might. So Just be careful about that. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You missed the melee minion or whatever. I'm just sustaining. I'm gonna be waiting for ganks. Try to ping for ganks if you can. Now, I will say it is a little bit hard to really ask for ganks in pre-6. I mean, you don't really have much setup for your jungler, other than the fact that your laners are overextended, so you might just have to, you know, just kind of deal with it. Lee Sin doesn't have too many options, but that's fine. Again, we're fine. He's going to be shoving. He's playing range AD. He's going to be just shoving on repeats. So just make sure you're in range for the XP. Make sure you're in range for the XP so that you can actually, you know, not fall behind. Right here, right there, I was trying to speed level to level 6. Maybe get a surprise kill. I wanted to see if he overcommitted a little bit. He didn't, but it was worth trying because I could sustain through his damage there pretty fine. I'm going to try to all in him, burn his exhaust, and then right here. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, let's that was a bit of a malfunction happening on my part on the work ult. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. You saw the idea. The idea is I thought that I had hands, but apparently I didn't. So, but it's okay. We didn't die, so it's not super punishing. As long as we didn't die, it's okay. We missed out on a kill opportunity, but it's fine. I'm just going to try to take this. I want to try to take the, you know, to farm these minions, but I also don't want to get dove by the graves right there. So, and I'm willing to actually give up a couple CS because I see the blood trail and I want to try to maybe delay recalls. And I didn't delay the Octane recall, but I did delay the Graves recall, so that was fine. I guess I missed a couple minions for it. But again, you're not playing for farm lead here. You're not playing for farm lead in this matchup. And I'd recommend running this setup. Well, I've only tried it into some matchups, but I'll tell you that I'm testing this setup against Akshan, maybe like Tristan I'll test it against, Lucian, really like any range ADs. Oh, Corki, been running it against Corki. Because even though he's not really a range AD, I suffer from the same problems versus Corki, even though it's not as bad. I'm going to try running it against a Zoe, because I typically struggle really bad against Zoe. I think maybe I can make this work out, but it's a work in progress. And you might be thinking, well, that's, you know, it sounds fun just to play for kills every game. Why don't you run it every game? Well, I tried running this against a Lux. I thought I'd get away with that, and I'm not gonna lie, it was way worse than I thought. I think this is very matchup specific play style, because yeah, you have to be able to actually like have like 100 to 0 kill pressure. If you don't have that 100 to 0 kill pressure, then it's just not worth it. If you can't all on top of the, like, you know, the Akshan, for example. So I do want to point out here though. So this is the key thing about mid lane. This is the key thing about mid lane. It's about, notice my patience this game. That is going to be pretty much the emphasis of this game. I'm in a poor matchup. That I'm not even like I got a lucky kill early, but beyond that, it's not like I'm like smurfing in the lane or anything like that. I'm just kind of doing okay. And I'm having to stack some CS. But I'm also having to deal with these ganks. And you'll notice me constantly evading these ganks from the Thresh and the Graves. And right here, this is a greedy, this is an ego dodge right here. I could have ulted away for sure. That was just pure ego by me. I probably should have it probably was more smarter all the way there. But I was kind of in the zone, I guess. So I feel like I could get away with that. But this entire lane is all about patience. I have to just kind of play in the back foot. I mean, it's not like my laners are all just stomping lane either. It's 3-2, and I got one of the kills. So my lanes are kind of behind. My jungler's getting out pressured. And I have to be a pressure sponge for the team. And this is what mid lane work's all about. People will gank you. Like, I don't know what it is about Warwick. It's like, it's just like, people joke about global taunts, you know, about Teemo. They have for years, right? But it's like so true with Warwick mid. You play Warwick mid and you'll get like 8-man ganks mid lane at like 3 minutes in the game. It's just like people are kind of go crazy for you. But right here, I saw Thresh appear on the map, so I knew I could at least try to go for an all-in because I knew he wasn't there. And worst case scenario, if Graves is there, I'd be able to just flash out to disengage. But I assumed I made the assumption there that Graves wouldn't stay. There's no reason for Graves to stay. I already showed my intent of playing safe, so Graves isn't going to waste his time. He's going to go back to his jungle. And because I kind of showed him that I wanted to play safe, now I can actually play aggressive. And Auction didn't expect it, and I managed to get a sums. Didn't get the kill, but I got a sums, so that's pretty good. And then right here, I remember this. So first of all, I was taking turret shots. Second of all, I forgot I don't have Demolish. So I wasn't able to go for a plate. I wouldn't have been able to get it in time anyways, so no big deal. But that was a reminder. Oh, I don't have Demolish. So I can't really play for plates. But yeah, again, in these range ADC matchups, the reason why I'm not taking Demolish is because anymore is just because I can't get plates against them anyways, because it's hard to get leads. So I have to take runes to sustain through the lane and provide me kill pressure so that I can get leads. And the plates are whatever at the end of the day. It's not the end of the world if I miss out on 1 or 2 plates. I'm not taking Demolish. That happened bot lane. Kind of sad. Probably should have called more MIA, but that's a problem I have where I just don't ping enough. That's a big problem actually. That's why I get hard stuck in diamond all the time, because I never ping what I want or what I'm thinking. And so I'm never on the same page with my teammates. Which isn't as much of a problem in higher elo because people I play smarter basically in higher elo. But right here, I walked up to Q. I expect to roam. Got it. Q through the thresh. Juke out his abilities. Burn his ignite. Again, the key here to Warwick mid is all about knowing how to soak pressure. If you hate getting ganked, I don't want to even say that Warwick mid's not for you. That's actually not true. I hate getting ganked. That's why I don't like playing top lane Warwick as much. That's why I play more mid lane Warwick than top lane Warwick, because top lane Warwick is so punishing with the ganks. I hate getting ganked by the jungler, getting camped. You feel so helpless. You feel like you can't do anything, and you're really relying on your team. And it's kind of the same situation in mid lane, except for 2 things. First of all, you're going to get ganked more. You're going to get camped more. You're going to have to deal with it. But here's why I play it. Because you can learn to enjoy getting camps more. It's not as punishing to get camped. You can get camped and survive and just force so much pressure that opens up the map for the rest of your team. So if the support's roaming mid, if the support's constantly mid and the jungler's constantly mid, now hopefully my team, is able to do something in the, basically 2v4 situation, right? Now, it's still a queue, so obviously like half the time my teammates still feed 1v2 lanes, and you know what happens in solo queue. You have to just learn how to. That's the frustrating part. You have to learn to deal with it. But it's solo queue. But the key thing to mid lane Warwick is learning to find joy in the frustrations of the enemy. Knowing that they're desperate to kill you. They're desperate. They feel like they have to kill you. They feel like it's so free. They can see the kill on their fingertips. They see it's right in front of their eyes. But you just get by on just a little bit of health every time. Maybe you cue the thresh hook or something like that, and they just you can see the anger slowly build in them over time as they fail gank after gank. They continually fail ganks, and you're able to usually keep up. Of course, if you're getting camped, it's hard for you to really get leads. But the lead is the mental lead. And it's not just mental. It's not just about, flair or anything like that. It's also about, again, it's about creating pressure. You're a pressure sponge. If you learn to enjoy being a pressure sponge, then maybe this pick is right for you. And it's fun. You got to learn to really enjoy it. I'm not going to lie. There's times where I'm just not in the mood to be a pressure sponge. Everyone wants. I want to carry sometimes. I want to kill my laner and carry. So if you're in that mood, probably don't queue mid, because you're gonna have to deal with it a lot of the times in the mid lane. Not every game. I definitely have games where I'm able to carry mid lane, but it feels like I just can't get a breather because I'm getting like 4-man ganked every game, every two ganks. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, if you learn how to have like what Warwick mid teaches you is how to gain better awareness of the map. You have to have really strong map awareness. You have to learn how to keep track of the mini map, pay attention to who's roaming, who's MIA, who can kill you, which side are they probably going to approach you about. That's the hard part of mid lane. And top lane, you know, you can just ward the river and you're good. But in right here, I tried to make a turn play on the Thresh. Managed to make it. I hooked through, or I ulted through his hook. So I ate the CC. Got away on like nothing. Now I'm just trying to just survive the gen ults. But yeah, you see, there's like 12 people mid lane. My bot lane is 2v0. It's like what is happening, bro? We burned the auction flash, the bait there, and the recall, which is nice. But yeah, this is definitely a little bit unfortunate here. I mean, I'm playing really good. I'm surviving these ganks. I even got a kill on the Thresh there. I killed the Thresh. Still, my teammates aren't doing a ton. I mean, my bot lane got the bot turrets, but we lost 2 minutes to turrets mid, and we're kind of dying. Like this just really shows you have to have patience. You can't get tilted. You can't get tilted. I'm a huge tilter. What I've learned playing mid lane work, you can't get tilted. Right here, I'm just trying to delay recalls. And failed to delay the auction recall, but we're going to be rotating mid. The reason why I'm kind of still staying around mid, I'm not going to the side lane, is because look at those side lanes. They're all shoved in. So I have time. I have time to roam around. Like, the bot lane minions aren't going to crash into our turret for like 20 seconds, so I don't need to rush it. I want to just run around with my team, see if we can maybe find a pick, get some prio or something. Quinn TP's in for this situation. And I don't have my ultimate up yet, so it's kind of hard for me to fight at this point. I do have ignites, but Warwick honestly doesn't have any tools to like team fight early on. So that's why I'm just kind of trying to go around the outskirts here on this Thresh. I decided, screw the Thresh. He's out of the fight, and he's kind of useless anyways. Let's just turn. We had the ult angle and we found it, and that was a really good fight by me. I threatened, the key there is I just threatened the flank. I couldn't run straight in. I didn't have the items, I didn't have the tools with my ultimate up yet to be able to just run straight in. So I wanted to threaten the flank, zone the Thresh, and wait for my ultimate to come up. And pray that my teammates aren't inting, you know, too fast in the fight. Worked out. Now we're 3-0-3. So we're going to be rushing into the Sunfire. That is the core item that we go with mid lane work, because you want to rush the Titanic. Titanic's just too good to pass up on in the mid lane, and then Sunfire just gives you really good scaling and good team fighting. So by this point in the game, I would like to have an item built for that. Divine Thunder is not going to cut it. Divine Thunder is not going to be helpful at all this game. So I don't know, I must have been tabbed out here or something. But I saw that the auction was down here. I'm just gonna try to push, but I gotta be a little bit careful. I can't push too far. You gotta look where my teammates are. You gotta look at, where are the enemies. So I just counted 3 mid lane. Or Quinn's top. So I know that I can shove out this wave. But I can't push too deep. I can't overextend. When you're split pushing in general, this isn't just a work concept, this is in general. You gotta pay attention to where your teammates are. Like, people are like, oh, I'm split pushing the tier 2, where's my teammates? Well, your teammates based. Your teammates are in base, or they just were dead. So it's like, if you get collapsed on by 4 people, when your teammates are in base, that's just your fault, because you shouldn't be in a position where you could get collapsed on. You want to make sure that you're overextending when your teammates are able to punish a rotation. That is the key. If teammates can't punish the rotation, then don't overextend. Yeah, anyways, what I was saying earlier though with mid lane Warwick, the hard part is just the fact that you can get ganked from every angle. You can get ganked from every angle, and you can get ganked from multiple different people. Jungler, the supports, even the top lane or ADC sometimes. I'm not even joking. I sometimes get 5-bans. And you just have to have good map awareness. It really trains your map awareness. It's crucial to have good map awareness playing Warwick mid, because you are a prime target to get ganked. And if you just make yourself hard to kill, which you can easily do, when I'm playing really well, I'm able to force people to want to gank me, avoid the ganks, and still be up in CS. So that's why I know it's not like just pure cheese, because cheese just relies on the enemy, you know, the enemies to just make mistakes or whatever for it to work. But when I'm playing my best with mid lane work, I'm able to force pressure and still maintain leads and scale really well and just do everything I need. It's a matter of, it's like I have all the agency to be able to do all those things. I have the agency to do it. It's not just relying on your teammates. Usually. It is to an extent. Like I said, you will have feeder teammates when you're drawing pressure, but it's not a bad pick. Warwick mid's good. I believe the reason why I play Warwick mid is because I believe in Warwick mid. I think it's really good. I don't think it's OP, but I think it's good. And yeah, we just saw a fight break out here, so we're just rotating towards the fight with the kills. Key solo queue concept, especially these days. If you have to choose between farming another wave top, maybe getting the tier 2 turrets, or taking a team fight in the mid game, you take the team fight. Well, that's assuming you think you can win it. If you think it's a winnable fight, then you rotate to the team fight. If you think you win the fight, you just rotate to the team fight. If you think it's a fight you lose, then you don't, right? And you try to ping your teammates back. But if you think you can win it, you know, you do gotta consider, do you need to take a fight? That is something that people don't always consider. Is it necessary to fight? If you're up like 10 kills, is there a point in taking this 50-50 fight? That just might not work out. So, you know, you don't have to take risks when you're ahead, basically. And that's also very important in solo queue to carrying. When you're very far ahead, don't take risk anymore. Play just very standard. Just play towards your advantages. Take risk when the game's even or you're behind. But take calculated risks. Take smart risks. Don't just fight a 1v4 and be like, oh well, you know, who knows if I would have won it, right? It's like no. Realistically, you gotta think realistically. Take like smart calculated risks. You know, maybe you could rotate and make a pick 3v1 on the guy who has a 1,000 gold bounty, something like that. Don't miss a cannon minion. That is crucial right there as well. Don't miss the cannon minions, man. I'll tell you, they'll tilt you for days if you miss those. I still have nightmares with that miss cannon. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and reset here. So I could push and get the turrets. I could take these Krugs. Well, first of all, I think Akshan's coming, so I'm not gonna push. I could take the Krugs, but again, I'm worried about getting rotated on maybe, and I feel like there is a risk involved. And I think because our team's really far ahead, I don't think we need to take that risk. And I have my item. There's no Krug's gonna give me 150 gold that I'm not even gonna spend, you know, the money on right now. So there's no point in taking the Krugs right now and going for that, which is something that it's a bad habit. I normally greed for those Krugs, but I've been punished so many times for taking stuff like that. Sometimes maybe a fight breaks out and then I'm late to the fights. So I want to be strong for in case something like this happens. If I took the Krugs, I wouldn't be here yet. I want to be here for the fights. And we are. It's so OP in if in solo queue, see like Akshan split pushing bot lane. Obviously, you don't want to let the split push for days. You don't want to let that happen. But if you can maybe like make him, like he got like, he didn't even get much damage on the turret. He crashed the wave, and we managed to make a pick in the mid lane. It took like 30 seconds for him to crash the wave. So yeah, I don't want to just completely ignore the split pushers, but just take the pick here. We're gonna just take this Gwen on. We wait to use our spells until we're low. So we bait her into the fight so that she can't just run away, or she won't want to run away. And then we're able to just heal up through her burst, absorb her burst with our E, her ultimate, her third ultimate just gets absorbed with our E. And we are kind of just chilling here. So we take the Baron. Sunfire, really good for taking Baron. And this game is looking solid. Oops. Game is looking very, very solid. Now, I actually want to take this Gromp. Because we see 3 mid lane, and I know there's a Blast Cone nearby, so there is a safety factor, so I drag it towards the Blast Cone, so just in case, you know, I can pull that out. And then we're going to shove in the wave, because again, we saw 3 mid lane, we have good ward coverage, so we know we can push this wave. Calculated risk. We know there's not much risk involved there. And now he just resets. I think against the enemy team comp, yeah, we're going for the Randuins. Because they have 3 crit champions. 3 crit champions go Randuins every time. Look at that. Jhin, Graves. Like, even Graves isn't even going lethality build. He's going crit build. So we just go Randuins. Randuins is just OP here. It's just so OP. You go Randuins every time here. Against this team. I guess maybe actually, you just go it every time. Even if Gwen's like 10-0, we probably still go the Randuins. And then just try to kill the Gwen or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna take these Raptors. Notice for my junglers. So this is a concept also. As a jungler, I want to emphasize this. When you're taking your jungler's camps, don't take it when he's pathing towards the camp. So he's pathing towards bot side, so I take the Raptors because he's not going for them. He's not gonna be going for them anytime soon. Don't just don't like take Krugs while your jungler's pathing to the Krugs and he's like right there or something like that, you know? That'll ruin his day. And right here, we have a... I'm not gonna lie, I kind of went really ham in this fight. That's why I ult backwards, because I was a little bit too far forward. I probably didn't need to go so deep. I probably shouldn't have gone so deep, but because we're so far ahead, we kind of can make it work. Here, oh, I love going deep. I love it. So I'm really tanky. I can tank the turret for days. I got a good fear off. We're able to go in for the re-engage. Just kind of do some work here. Actually, I was like, there's no way I'd go for the dive there. Can't go for the dive there because I just don't have ultimate or movement speed or anything like that. So, yeah, the game's a bit of a wipe at this point. I'm going to just wait for this bot wave to come in so that I can get this tier 2. I love taking the tier 2. Love it. I love it. Look at this. Boom, 600 gold. Feels so good to get 600 gold off a turret. If you're taking the solo gold. And then we get the cannon as well. So we're gonna reset. Pick up the Randuins. Probably get like a we're going for Death Stance actually. Interesting. So I think usually I'd go for a Asterix here, but because Gwen's not strong, and she's not gonna be super strong for a while, we can just go for Death Stance and just be like impossible to kill. Death Stance, Randuins, play Steel Cap, Sunfire. We're gonna have so much armor, it's gonna be kind of bonkers. Right here, I'm kind of feeling myself a little bit. Probably a little too much. I get the kill, which is kind of illegal. That shouldn't have worked. I'm not gonna lie. I should be waiting for my Riven and my Lee Sin to come. The game's like really kind of over, so I'm kind of playing just cocky and just kind of screwing around at this point. But you don't want to do that because I have a tendency to throw these type of games. I've thrown a couple in the last couple weeks. Now I feel personally very, very strong, so I'm not super worried, especially considering the enemy team comp. I don't think that they can really come back versus us, but it's not smart. Just end the game. End the game, move on to the next game. Nice fear here into the Gwen. Or fear the Gwen into the Caitlyn trap, which is nice. And you can just see, with how much armor I have, and also the rocket heals coming in and the Ocean Drake, I can tank this turret for literally forever. Like, literally forever. That's what I'm doing. Taking it forever. And we're just kind of fishing for kills here and stuff. But this entire game was... It honestly was probably a perfect game into a bad match. This is a bad matchup for me where I'm trying a new strat. They took exhaust, which is kind of annoying, which kind of countered the strat. And I played kind of perfectly in lane. Well, maybe not in the early laning phase, but I played perfectly around jungle ganks and jungle attention. And that's why we're able to win this game, is just because I was able to, I had strong awareness and I was able to play correctly around the pressure. And I was able to counter that pressure with my own pressure at the right times. And also I was able to rotate to the right fights and team fight well, which is, that is what Warwick mid is all about. And you can see my damage is good. So peace out, guys. Have a good one. More videos to come.